Hello. So, to be honest, first and foremost, this is the only video that will be uploaded specifically today. I am going to do tomorrow's tomorrow because I do feel like it is essentially four lots of this and four lots of reviews, which would be easier. And I was about to not upload anything today. But episode 9 of Amazing Digital Circus happened, and I need to talk about that real bad. So, I've watched The Amazing Digital Circus since episode 1. I've sort of came into the sort of glitch productions through Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones, being two series that's on there that's really good. And throughout all of the Amazing Digital Circus, I absolutely loved it. And how they improved not only how they created this amazing story. And I do like a story that more seems to be focused on characters, getting each episode to be like, here's something about Kinga, here's something about Raghava, and being more character than mystery. There are some mystery elements, definitely near the end. And yeah, I know there's a lot of people saying, like, oh, wouldn't it be good to have season two? I think, like, on one hand, I'm not gonna say no to a season. If it's like season two, it's like a lot of people are like, could you do stories? Like theoretically, like if you look at the law, like they're mind files, and I don't think you can make any of the mind scans work because the blue did it. If not, you can have that be a thing. You can also do a thing about maybe theoretically bringing back the abstractions. Kind of, maybe, not really. You could also do something about them actually meeting each other. But overall, I don't think it's needed. I think the overall idea is really good. It's really insane. And obviously, it's not, besides episode 8, which went, I'm doing my evil bit. You still had it being not as dark as I have no mouth and must scream, but legitimately. Also, by the way, at this point, spoilers. Spoilers at this point. I'm gonna wait for it to get to free mark because then I can be like put something like in the caption like Yep, now we've hit free mark. I can do it. I'm gonna put a thing being spoiler of this. That's why I was waiting for free mark. So, number one, they are mind files. I think I said that. That's the only thing that's spoiler in the previous section, which is I think what a lot of people were saying, I kind of didn't. I was like, and until literally like the last. I think I talked about like I think I made some video when I was like 2 months ago when episode 8 came out, talking about like the mind files and how that's a thing. And I was on the fence, but I kind of get why that happened. So I wasn't really in the theory because I kind of like the idea of like digitally transforming into the thing. And I'm like, ah. I think it's really interesting. But I overall think it's a really fun idea. It explains like, oh, how can you create like people trapped in the digital world? They are all mind files, so it does matter. You also get them trying to fix the place, and I think it's really interesting. Also, I know there's a lot of people saying like, "Oh, because one thing, spoilers again. I've done the 3 minute spoiler thing, but one of the things that is a major thing is Jack's abstracting and doing it off camera. I think because you've had not only the thing after the vote for the characters and having his panic moment there, having the dream sequence, having the abstraction with the eyes, and the other panic moment, I think it built up to this was inevitable. hence why I said, like, is there a way to save them? I don't know, but I would sure like it AU, but definitely saves all the characters because I'm that person who likes them being saved. Legitimately. Obviously, I didn't watch it late. I had like a medical thing in the early morning, so I was yes, I can't go to bed at 11 p.m. I need to wake up at like 5. I was wrong. I need to wake up at 6, but doesn't dispute my point of like 6 hours of sleep. I'm doing a medical thing. It's not the greatest idea. But I watched it afterwards, and oh, it's really good. Obviously, getting some more stuff on like there's another video I found where it's like, oh, why didn't you involve Gummy Goo? I don't think there's a way to bring Gummy Goo back in at this point. When they did like the fast food episode, they brought up the idea of like, oh yeah, Gummy Goo, and like he's doing his own thing. And if Kane's not really good at making AIs anymore, there's a strong chance that all of the AIs that already exist no longer exist, unless they do, because they are kind of files. But they talked about how everything he made was deleted. That's what I'm like. I'm putting questions on if it's still here. I definitely like the idea. The other thing I like is they do the whole thing of during episode 1, and the only episode they do the welcome to the amazing show, da, 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 and do that whole song until this episode, where they do it again. But sort of Kate is gone. Well, so all you get is that until you get like, and you get the names of the characters, and rather than and you getting a line of and a cough mode or something like that is really good. I also like how you get a bit of like insight to the personality of both Ribbit and Gothmo. Because one, we heard about Gothmo and saw his abstraction, and we heard, I think, later on about Ribbit, and I don't think we saw, and you didn't actually know. Why am I saying that we didn't? Like, I'm guessing we didn't see her abstraction. Hence why I'm like, I want a day where they all get it. But I feel like what we got is absolutely amazing. I also like the idea of seeing where the characters were going. And with everything happening, how it ended, I think was really good. How I see it is essentially this. Episode 8, and this is why I think is probably better as 1, because I watched episode 9, I didn't see the movie in theater. I would have loved to see that. That sounded amazing. Um, Episode 8 dealt with basically, besides a couple of small things, uh, bringing together the how the game, how the sort of like how it works, right? Bringing together what the world is, and the last one, and episode 9, kind of still dealing with like, oh, how certain things, learning about them being mind files, and I feel like episode 9 is more of a character thing. And I definitely like them being like, oh, we're mind files, and then still acknowledging, oh yeah, here's what we've done. Like, here's what the after the files were copied. Here's what we later did, which I think is really good. I also like the live action scene of them all coming together on like a bus, because like they all work in like a similar-ish town. Like I think the one that's sort of meant to be a scan of Jack's actually goes to, I think the one that's meant to be the real life, but not real life, but like sort of like outside of the digital world scan of Zubo. They go to their bar, and I just like it. Again, I think it's really good. I like it. I enjoyed how it ended. This is the only one for today. It was an amazing ending. Ended perfectly, in my opinion. But I hope you enjoy, and good night.